This is the final part of, like, let's call it the jigsaw. I'll never leave here as long as I can fish here, but I've done an awful lot of time this year and it's time to move elsewhere. You know, I will drop in for goes because I love the place to bits, but I need a new direction, let's put it like that. When you're playing these, you don't want it to be a moid, you want it to be one of them babies. You're just like, it's the future, it's my future. What I mean is, like, in 10, 15 years time, I'll be back on places like Lake 5, 6, where I'm red carded after catching Rosie. Look at the mouth, look, right underslung, look. He's going to be a tricky one. So John come down, done the photos, I weighed it, and it was £50.6. And it was just like blown away. I think that's my, I don't know what, I haven't even counted up. I think that's my 9th 50, definitely my 74th English 40. So I might be 54, but I'm still flipping doing it. Look, Mike, Elliot, I brought you on to pit 4. That is the stock pond. Why am I on the stock pond? Well, we've got to move these babies around. So I've been granted some permission to catch them and move them. So it's all baited. Elliot's 2 days late, or was it 1 day late? 1 day late, Elliot. So really this is the final part of, like, let's call it the jigsaw. I'll never leave here as long as I can fish here, but I've done an awful lot of time this year and it's time to move elsewhere. You know, I will drop in for goes because I love the place to bits and do my work, my tuitions, but I need a new direction, let's put it like that. I'm not willing to say where I'm going because I don't want to alert people where I'm going and what I might be doing, but today hopefully we're going to catch a few and spread the love, because we've got big moids, so Elliot would like a moid, and we've got original babies. What I mean by that is when Paddle was the biggest carp on the complex, before she ripped her egg sac out, which is quite sort of like savage, while she was spawning, in that process Andy collected the eggs. So let's say that was, oh God, 11 years ago. So her babies, purebreds, are in here. So we've got all sorts. We've got like clusters, because cluster damaged itself on the same area, ripped its tail root out and then died, which was a 45 mirror. And then through time we've lost carp like Willie, the long common, the friendly linear, etc, etc, etc. So their babies, their genes are in here, and they wasn't diluted with any other carp apart from themselves. So they were collected and they're like what we call original babies, purebloods. So the next generation is sitting in here waiting to be the love to be spread around. So that's what we're going to try and do today. You can probably notice I'm using pop-up rigs, hinge stiff rigs and running choddies. It's a bit dirty in here, a bit weedy, not that, the weed ain't bad, but these fish are green. I just want presentation. I'm not worried about finding spots, just where I've watched them feeding, so the rigs are ready to go. So all I'm going to do is just put the curve in, the hook's sharp, new pop-up on. There you go. The other day I had them really ripping it up, sheeting, flanking on the bottom. It was just mental watching it. Just keep coming every twice a day. Just put a bit of bait in. Right. All I'm doing is just setting the clutch, getting everything ready, and I've just put where I've baited and seen them feeding. The bites can be like really quick, sometimes before you've even got the next rod out, and they fight like hell. Unreal. All I've got to do is just balance it, so just put a bit of putty on there. But everything's ready to go basically. So all I've got to do is just balance it. I just want it to sink, not fast, not slow, just in between really. And then whatever it lands on with a long boom and helicopter top bead set up a foot, I've got like loads of movement there to sit down, and then a bit of putty in the middle. Right, let's just go and test her out.